So this video is about voting, and specifically online and electronic voting. We have elections coming up later this year in Finland, and they have now been postponed by a couple of months due to the pandemic. Well, I usually think it's a good idea to make things easier with technology. In the case of voting, I don't think that it is so. Issues are not only in technology itself. I'm Nicholas Anderson, and welcome to my channel Before Singularity. To set the scope, here's a brief description on how we vote in Finland right now. So the physical thing is that we go to the voting place, usually a school, and then we show our ID. The registration is already done, sort of quite automatically. And then we get a piece of paper, we put a number corresponding to the politician we vote on, and then we fold the paper. The officials put a stamp on it, and then we put the vote in a box. The boxes are then gathered to a different place where they are counted, and usually we have the results available in a few hours after the voting has ended. The system is very good for a few reasons. At no place you can identify who has voted what, and also at all places there are several officials from different parties overviewing each step. And as such, trust, security and voting secrecy are the main reasons why I think online or digital voting is a bad idea. The differences between online and digital voting is that online voting would be done online anywhere where you are able to get online, and digital voting it's just sort of the same as the traditional system, but you have a digital polling station instead of pen and paper. And I think trust is the very basis of democracy. If people don't trust the system, they are not happy with it. And while in Finland we don't trust all the politicians, we do trust the voting system. It is actually the most trusted system in the world alongside with Denmark. Electronic systems have different trust-related issues, and there's a couple of good videos that Tom Scott did that I'm going to put in the description. But here's a few main points. So how does one actually trust open or a closed system? And specifically, how do the people trust the company that has done the system, and even more so if the tender is won by a company who is not trusted in before. Not only how to collect the votes, but also how to get the votes from the where the votes have been cast in the electronic system to the place where they are counted. Also be able to trust the counting system. So as such, there's quite a few different points of breach that some with malicious thoughts could have access to. The main difference, I think, is that if someone breaches the electronic system, they have a wider access to more votes than they would have in the traditional system when the system is based on pen and paper. And as such, I don't really see a benefit for at least a voter in a digital system if you still have to go to a separate place to cast your vote. And the only benefit would be for maybe counting the votes, and that would probably be much faster, but that works as it is now, so I don't think we should change that. And then online voting, that definitely has big benefits for the voter. You could just cast your vote anywhere. On a cup of coffee, for example, you could cast your vote and be done with it. That sounds brilliant. It would be much easier for people who have difficulties getting around, or just people who are too busy to go and vote. Here again is some other issues that pop up. In online voting, you need to register on an online form. While that actually is quite possible in Finland, we have good trusted identification systems that can be used online. But how to separate the votes from the voter seems to be a difficult issue. The Ministry of Justice have made a paper, a preliminary study, and one of the reasons they pointed out that it's very difficult to separate the vote from the voter. I think that is a very important factor in voting, that you can't identify the vote to the voter. Even though if we could accomplish to overcome these technological issues, there is still some non-technological issues I think it's very difficult to get around. Biggest non-technological issues I see in online voting is that if you can vote anywhere you want, you might actually get peer pressured into voting the way your peers want you to vote. And that might happen in a political rally or somewhere where you gather with your friends and one of them is too politically inclined and starts pressuring people to vote, and there might be a group reaction and make you vote in another way that you would actually otherwise do. Another issue is also that if you're able to vote from home, you would be able to sell your votes much more easily than it is possible now. Right now we actually go to a booth to vote in secrecy, but it's still a public area with lots of other people, so that's a bit difficult to sell your vote from there. But at home you could be able to stream your voting process or share your screen to the one who wants to buy your vote. And in that way it makes it much easier to sell your votes. And also that's the reason I don't think people should share the images, share pictures of their votes online afterwards they have voted. So thank you for listening so far, and see you in the next video. Please like and subscribe. Bye!